Plankton are essential for life on Earth, producing up to half the oxygen we breathe and forming the base of the ocean's food chain. They also perform the largest animal migration on Earth, where they travel from the ocean's surface at night to deeper water during the day to avoid predators. The two most common varieties of plankton are phytoplankton and zooplankton. Plankton also, wait a minute, isn't this a video about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Hey, no need to get hostile, guys. It's me. Your new friend FF. I'd like to be called that if you don't mind.
Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Foo Fighters' story is one of understanding, discovery, and an animalistic urge to drink water. FF's origin is definitely out there, even by JoJo standards. This sentient plankton colony was created when Poochie, because he needed a guardian for his collection of stand discs, threw a disc into the swamp surrounding the prison. Her plankton physiology allows her to take full advantage of the swamp's abundance of water. Foo Fighters is overwhelmingly at her strongest while she's within water. It's unclear how long Poochie had her stationed there, but seeing as how Poochie worked for Green Dolphin State Prison for 8 years, probably a little less than that. In her introductory arc, FF is completely dedicated to protecting Poochie's discs, killing anyone that approaches them regardless of their intent. After Jolene and Hermes befriend her, she pivots the fervor she had for protecting Poochie's discs to protecting Jolene. While she consistently protects other members of the Stone Ocean cast, it's really only because they're able to help Jolene. Aside from Jolene, FF doesn't care about much, except for her prized water, of course. Partially because she needs it to sustain her plankton colony, and partially because the only remnant of her swampy life she has left, Foo Fighters loves drinking water. She has no issue with inmates cut her in line, but she's willing to permanently maim another prisoner over her water cup. To Foo Fighters, the only thing that matters in her life beyond her water and her friends is proving she exists, what she describes as her intellect. Which makes sense, since before she had any memories with Jolene, the only thing FF had to prove her existence was the fact that she was thinking. During the fight, when she fully reveals herself to Jolene and Hermes, Foo Fighters goes on an entire rant describing her purpose and superiority to the two, revealing key aspects about Whitesnake's operation and the nature of the disc stash. She does this because she fully believes in her ability to kill Hermes and Jolene, trusting in her intellect and watery domination. Which is ironic, because it's ultimately her underestimation of Jolene and dedication to protecting Poochie's discs that leads to her defeat. She values her intellect so much that after the Yo-Yo Ma fight, she gets visibly irritated when Anasui degradingly calls her plankton. Because she conflates her intellect with her existence, in order to further her goal of proving she exists, FF seeks out knowledge in all areas. In the Marilyn Manson debt collector arc, she takes great enjoyment and pride in learning how to properly throw a baseball, much to her friend's chagrin.
There we go! That was 100 times! Okay.
Foo Fighters doesn't have traditional human empathy, even beyond the psychos we commonly see in JoJo's. In her introductory arc, before she becomes an ally, FF operates like a horror movie villain. She dismembers 2 unnamed prisoners at the start in a very mysterious and pretty inefficient way. Instead of killing them both immediately, she lets them struggle around before finishing them off, almost as if their struggling is a testament to her existence. When Jolene goes off script and starts attacking her fellow prisoners, FF grotesquely merges 3 bodies she was puppeting around, to the point that Outro's body, the prisoner that exploded beforehand, is the only body with enough salvageable material left to be a good host body. After the Foo Fighters arc, even though it's out of loyalty, she has no problem threatening the people around her with violence. During the Maximum Security arc, she thinks about shooting Anasui to get him to come and help her rescue Jolene. And during the same arc, she physically threatens Jolene to get her to stop moving towards the green baby. There's even something unnerving about how she's posed where she's going to kill Yo-Yo Ma's user, DNG. We don't usually see protagonists look this unequivocally villainous, highlighting FF's lack of humanity. I'm not saying all this to frame Foo Fighters as a morally questionable character, or to make the argument that she isn't a hero. She definitely is. I just think it's interesting that throughout all of her appearances, she's very clearly not a human. Araki experimented with similar ideas when he created Mikitaka, the alien character from Part 4. But even then, Mikitaka's inhumanity is played more as a mysterious gag, rather than being anything genuinely concerning. All he does is act strange and aware of Earth customs, like Foo Fighters does, but it is left open-ended to if he really is an alien, or just a strange kid pretending to be one for whatever reason. Foo Fighters is not given that ambiguity. FF simply doesn't hold the same value for life that a regular human would, and that's okay. In my opinion, it adds to the charm of her character, because never once do you doubt that she's really just a sentient mound of plankton. This is portrayed perfectly by the fact that she has the most otherworldly fighting style out of any JoJo's main character. Throughout all of Part 6, Foo Fighters pushes her human body to its limits, especially during the Dragon's Dream fight. It really is a shame that this is her only solo fight, not only because she's one of my favorite characters, but because the over-reliance on a foreign and somewhat contrived concept, being feng shui, detracts from FF's moment. On a side note, this fight is even more impressive for Foo Fighters when you consider the fact that Kenzo was essentially wielding a prototype Wonder View, and FF still won. During the Dragon's Dream fight, she contorts her body in ways shocking to the enemy in order to gain an advantage, and because it can just be healed away, she often disregards the well-being of her host body when making attacks. That, combined with her FF shots, plankton healing, and other shapeshifting/contortionist abilities, makes her incredibly formidable. In her final fight with Pucci, after ditching her host body, she continuously separates and takes advantage of her plankton physiology in order to evade Whitesnake's grasp. Even after she's almost completely eviscerated by the boiling water stand, she's able to completely regenerate because of Weather Report's clutch rain. It's within that final fight that we learn more about Foo Fighters and her character. After discovering that Father Pucci is Whitesnake's user, she starts spiraling. The man not trying to kill her is effectively her father, her creator, and he has the perfect stand to completely eradicate her. Whitesnake can remove her memory disk, her intellect, with just a swipe. Even in what could be her final moment, she thinks of Jolene and the memories that arose from being rescued by her. Memories give a person courage, even at a cellular level. It was something that Foo Fighters had not felt during her life at the farmlands, but she feels it now. This is her intellect. While escaping from Pucci and without a host body, she regenerates a new one. This new body isn't the exact same as in her initial depiction, which is more robotic and had less human appearance. Instead, it's more reminiscent of her host body, while still keeping some of the robotic elements from her original depiction. Even though her new body looks more human, and she's gleaned more human-like traits, I don't interpret this as her learning to be more human per se. I see this new and improved body as a better reflection of FF herself, with the memories from her time in Outro's body integrated into her appearance. After Whitesnake impersonates Weather Report and maims both Anasui and FF, with her memory disk gone and almost completely out of plankton, it was those memories that gave FF the courage to sacrifice herself to save both Anasui and Jotaro's memory disk. As her spirit lifts from Anasui's body and Jolene is forced to confront the death of her friend, FF speaks. She goes on about intellect and memory, and how the shape of her spirit proved that Foo Fighters did in fact exist. FF laments not being able to say goodbye to all of her friends. She even mentions her fear in forgetting how to say goodbye, demonstrating that even at death, she still judges her life based on her memories. Even though, in what were potentially his final moments, Anasui gave Foo Fighters permission to take his body and survive, she emphasizes the importance of his body being his, the same way her body and soul were truly of her own making. Even after Jolene says she'll find FF's memory disk and bring her back, FF reiterates that whatever Jolene brings back won't be her, that the spirit before her is the true Foo Fighters, saying goodbye. From her first to her final moments, Foo Fighters lived and died protecting stand discs. And as heartbreaking as Jolene's reaction to FF's death was, Weather Report crying out for her over the radio is the part that gets me crying every time.
Come in, FF. I can't track you. Do you copy? Over. Where are you?
FF, hey!
Come in, FF. Acknowledge.
Foo Fighters' story is one of evolution, humanity, memory, and the change you make with the life you're given. Plankton are essential for life on Earth, producing up to half the oxygen we breathe and forming the base of the ocean's food chain. They also perform the largest animal migration on Earth, called being friends with a JoJo, where they transform from automaton protectors to cherished friends. The most common varieties of plankton are phytoplankton and zooplankton, more plant-like and animal-like respectively, and they come together to make up the sentient colony that is my favorite Sun Ocean character. Personally, I really love Foo Fighters, and I hope I properly expressed that in this deep dive into her character.